stop and get started again. I think you've got a good subject here, and it's interesting, but it needs to gel a little bit more. You've got some good information that you were citing. I think you picked some good events, but you don't always explain them as completely as you should. For instance, the whole thing about the breakup of the studios and their power, we kind of hear what happened, but there's no context for it. In other words, what was the lawsuit about? What were they taken to court for? Why is it that they ended up having to divest themselves of their movie studios or of their theaters? And what did that mean? You get bits and pieces of information there instead of a more complete picture of what's going on. The same thing with the contracts. I think that people would want to know, well, when did the contract system end up dying? You gave us a timeline on the other thing, but not on this one, and so that's a little bit confusing. I thought that there could be a little bit more information, for instance, about why it was that television was a threat, or how you could tell that it was a threat. You mentioned the number of TV sets, for instance. What you didn't tell us was how did movie attendance change in that time period because of television. You know, at one point, it was like 90% of the public went to the movie theater every week, you know, on a weekly basis. I don't think that 90% of you have been to a movie in the last month. Maybe you have. You know, Zombieland's out. I know some of you were talking about that earlier. So, you know, it's you know, a vastly different world because of that competing thing. And so I think you need to make the picture a little bit more complete. It comes across, I think, a little bit like the first draft of the speech. You need a little bit more practice. You need to see, oh, there's some stuff that needs to fit in here. On the other hand, it's very well organized. The slides kind of give us transitions between the points that you're talking about, remind us what's different about that point. You're doing too much reading, so you do seem kind of stiff up there because you were doing the reading instead of just talking to us. All right, thank you.